All right, couple of things that we'll be looking at is talking about our assignment. I'm going to go through that. If you want to get your laptop out and follow along with me while we're looking at it, in case you have questions. Normally, I don't like you having that in front of you, but this is something that you might need to look at. I am, for all of you guys in here, recording this. So if you get home tomorrow and you start working on it, you forget something, the recording of the explanation of this will be posted for today. This assignment is for today and tomorrow. So you guys tomorrow, there's nothing else assigned for you to do. So this is what you're working on tomorrow. So if you look at today, it's the Chapter 5, Rome, CSI, cold case, Julius Caesar. And that's what we're going to be looking at. And then that will open in our Cami that is now working properly. And this is based on the TV show Cold Case, because obviously this is a really, really cold case from a gazillion years ago. So Cold Case File 44, which is the year he's assassinated, and the assassination of Julius Caesar. So that's what we're looking at. Questions to look at. Did Julius Caesar know that he was going to be assassinated? Was there a single killer, dozens of men? What were the reasons for the assassination? You and your partner. Now, this is going to say you and your partner the whole way through. Typically, this is something that we would have done on paper. You would have had all these exhibits in a folder, and you would have looked at all of them, been able to hold them and look at them. Obviously not. You're doing it by yourself this time. So every time it talks about a partner, just know that it's you by yourself. So you and your partner will answer these and other questions as we look back at one of history's greatest crimes, using evidence gathered from the crime scene, testimony of those involved, and later historical writings. You and your partner will explain a 2,000-year-old murder. So the next thing that pops up are all the exhibits. The first one tells you 3 options. You have 3 options when you get ready to file your indictment, because this is what we're doing. We're pretending like we're investigators working. We're going to take questions, and then we're going to end it with filing an indictment. So there are witnesses. The exact motivation and number of attackers is still unknown. 3 options to consider. The senators assassinated Caesar due to jealousy of his fame. The senators assassinated Caesar because they thought he was destroying Rome by making himself emperor. And Caesar allowed the assassination to happen because he wanted to die a memorable and heroic death. I don't think I've ever had anybody choose that one, but it's there for your option. This case remains unsolved. So you're considering those 3 options. Did they assassinate him because they were jealous? Did they assassinate him because they thought he was destroying Rome? Or did Caesar just want to die so he could go out in a flame of glory? So the next things will be the exhibits. And I think it's A through K. So you'll need to look at each one of those, and please scroll through all of those exhibits until you get down. And this is the hard part of this assignment of trying to figure this out, is the questions that go with each exhibit. So is everybody down here and found where it says agent? You can give yourself an agent name. Just make sure it's school appropriate. And typically, if I don't understand the agent name, I think you're being nasty. So don't do something weird that I don't know what it is. So give yourself a name. The report is filed on this date, and then you have questions to answer about each one of these exhibits. This is going to be the difficult part. This is the part where you would have held the exhibit in your hand while you answered the questions. Could not, in a short time period, figure out a way to chunk that other than causing me a lot of extra work as well. So you're going to have to scroll back and forth, and I apologize for that part. But you have questions, about 2 or 3 questions for each one of those exhibits. Again, making sure you answer these in complete sentence, complete thoughts. If you continue to go down, when you finish with Exhibit I, then you will get the indictment. This indictment is just thinking questions. You're not answering these on this page. So it says, now that you've seen all the evidence, you must write up an indictment. These questions are what you should be thinking about. Did the senators do the right thing? What was their motive? You and your partner do not have to agree, Again, sorry about that part. As you will both present your findings to the grand jury. So the next set of questions follow that. Why do you think Caesar was assassinated? How many senators do you think involved or why? What evidence is there that Caesar knew the assassination was going to happen? And why do you think he ignored this? What happened as a result of the assassination? And then finally, the last thing you're going to do is actually file the indictment in the United States District Court for the state of Indiana. You're the investigator, your date filed. The grand jury charges that the defendant, those are the names of the people that you think committed the crime, is responsible for the crime of, and then there is what you are going to say why they assassinated him. Or we offer the following evidence, and these are the evidences that prove your point. So you're not going to use A through K because not all of them prove what you are alleging the crime of. You should be able to use at least 3. And so you're going to put Exhibit A shows the senators wanted to assassinate, I'm just making this up, that the senators wanted to assassinate Julius Caesar because they were jealous, because this shows, and then you would show why that exhibit attaches itself with that jealousy crime. All right? And that is the last part. So I, again, apologize about how you're going to have to move back and forth through those exhibits. Let me see something else. Did I put, I think finally I changed the way I put. Exhibit C, I have the translation first. That second thing, Exhibit C, is written in Greek, just so that you could see it, what it looks like. You're not going to be able to read it. Okay? All right, questions about any of that and what you have to do over the next 2 days. You see that picture on that first page? I was telling Parker this the other day of the guy laying out with all the blood. I was making photocopies when she was probably, I think she said she must have been in the 2nd grade, and she saw that picture and really kind of freaked out. She doesn't remember it, so I didn't traumatize her forever, but it is a pretty gruesome looking picture. All right, so any questions about any of that? This is one of my fun things that we would have done as partners with paper. So I apologize that again, that it has to be like this. So this will be this will be Thursday and Friday. You know, Monday and Tuesday we're virtual. Everybody's virtual. So we will be taking notes on Monday. So I'll run through the PowerPoint on Monday and catch us up where we need to be. Okay. So make sure Monday and Tuesday you check in like you're supposed to. Not just with my class, but with all your classes. Okay? Questions, anybody? Yes, sir. You say we'll keep it virtual? I don't. Nope. The reason I don't is because we don't, and this is really what most states are focusing on, that most of our cases aren't in school. The elementary has none. Yeah. None at all. We only have some because of extracurricular activity. If we take out those 2 extracurricular activities, the play and the soccer practice, we've only had 2 students test positive that affected people in this building. So I don't think so. I really hope not. I know you guys are kind of like hoping, yeah, but I don't. I don't hope we do, because it's not an ideal situation for a lot of people. Yeah. So, all right. Anybody have questions about any of that? And also, Jonathan, that's every state has obviously dealt with this very differently. The state of Indiana has allowed local school districts to make that decision. So that decision is, and why it looks different everywhere else. Local school districts with the health department get to make their own decisions about closing school and all that stuff. So it'll be, unless the governor makes a different decision, which I don't think he will this time. We're good, because the elementary, other than just yesterday, they're still as normal. I don't even know that they've got any kids in quarantine at all. And if they are, it's not because of school. All right. I'm sorry, honey. Yes. Yeah. Again, I that's the default date, and it's just one less thing I have to click. So I'm pretty lazy on that. And that, I know that benefits you, but it's pretty lazy on me because that it's a very temperamental little button that I don't like. So I usually don't change it unless there's a big reason for me to. All right. Oh, I'm still recording.